From Tally to Cali,
It's time
to wake up.
Wake up! Wake up! Warchant.com is your ultimate Seminole sports source.
and this is Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.
Coffee's for closers only.
Now here's Warchant.com's Aslan Hajavandi.
And Corey Clark.
Let me get 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! Last show in the Midtown offices for your guy here. Welcome on live to this edition of Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee, DeLunaCoffee.com. K-Cups, BOGO, Fat Albert, buy one, get one free, as well as the red, white, and brew, and Ira's favorite, is it Diablo? No, it's not Diablo. It's the one with the devil on it. He likes that one a lot. It's still too high octane for your guys, so I'm not familiar with all the product line, Corey. They've got a lot, man. Like, the DeLuna Coffee's got something for everybody, I think. There's like 30 different blended coffees. And then they got all the flavors, like the butternut and the.
Yeah, man, the Lamoxin, they're not screwing around. They give you every taste that you could possibly want.
That's right. He's Corey Clark. I'm Aslan. Thanks for being here. If you could hit that thumbs up button to everybody listening to this and watching us live here on YouTube, we would appreciate it. Everybody listening to us on the podcast form, thank you. Apologies for the 2-hour Scorsese opus, Salinger, Tolstoy that we did. We took a couple days off. There's 12 questions in the bag. These things happen. Corey, you hung out with Matt Nelson, the world leader in home runs. That was pretty cool. Well done with that, man. Good get. Good get.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was a good interview. It was insightful. I don't know if you could tell if you watch it. Is it up yet? It'll be up tonight, right?
Yeah,
or up tomorrow.
It's ready to go. But we haven't deployed it yet to the masses.
I think it's like 20, 25 minutes. And I get a little inside baseball, no pun intended, about how does he do this? Because, I have a kid that I would like to lead college baseball in home runs one day. So I want to know, the ins and outs of what he's actually doing. So there's some real specific stuff about, staying back and going up the middle and hitting the right center. But then there's some cool stuff too, just about his childhood and growing up and how he was recruited by Florida State. I didn't realize Meade offered him during his freshman year, which is crazy. I guess that's how they do it in baseball. So I guess Brady should be expecting one. I don't know, next summer, like 18 months from now, maybe when he's going to the 9th grade. I guess Brady will be getting his scholarship offer from Meade as well.
Fingers crossed. We certainly are hoping. In the world of football, saw this retweeted from Mike Norvell. There's no reason to wait to do the right thing. That's like an MLK quote almost. The state of Florida was a leader on NIL, that's name, image, and likeness. And as other states quickly try to follow our model, look at Mike's a Floridian, our model. Mm-hmm. College athletes in Florida have been able to position themselves to be ready to benefit starting July 1st, 2021. Hashtag keep the date. Apparently what I've pieced together on the internet, Corey, is that I think the state of Florida is kind of like, all right, well, maybe we'll wait to let this happen. So I guess there's rumblings that possibly the state of Florida will not enact this.
No, not maybe. They did. They changed the date until 2022. It was like a one line correction that was voted on, I think, last night by the Senate and approved, saying that it wouldn't go into effect until 2022 with no real rationale. And your boy Mackenzie Milton did not like it. If you follow Mackenzie Milton on Twitter, he was not a fan of it. As you can imagine, he will not be a college football player in 2022. This is his 1 year where he could literally strike, not literally, but he could strike when the iron's pretty hot. Lukewarm anyway. It was hot in 2018 for him, but he could make some real money probably. And that's what he. There
you go. Effective upon this act becoming a law. Section 3 will take effect July 1st. Look at that. They scratched out the 20.
They scratched it out and put 2022. It's ridiculous. It'll be interesting to see what DeSantis does, because he's going to have every football coach in the state telling him to veto that, to get it back to the right date. Apparently the reasoning was, according to, I can't remember who wrote it. I hate to not give credit for something like this. Ross Dellinger, maybe? Is that somebody?
Yeah. He's usually on top of that stuff.
He talked to the person that wrote the revision, and that guy said he was worried that the NCAA, they had heard NCAA, if you took money and then the NCAA didn't approve it formally, if you took money for your name and image and likeness, then you would be ruled ineligible. And they did not want these kids that had gotten money from Warchant to tell everybody what a great site Warchant is to then be ruled ineligible. because of the NCAA would come back and rule them ineligible because they took money. But then Mark Emmert said that he told them that they are not going to rule anybody ineligible, even though it's not an NCAA specific law yet. So I don't know what that means. I don't know why they did that. It does not make any sense. It was really kind of a last minute, what WTF moment, I think, for a lot of people. Well, for McKenzie Milton for sure, and a lot of other people in the state. And really, man, you got to imagine Mike Norvell, Manny Diaz, maybe not Dan Mullen. I don't know that he likes to talk to teenagers, but all these other guys were really selling this. Like, guys, come here. We're the first ones. You're going to be able to make money starting in July 1st. And now they get basically the midnight hour get told, no, you got to wait a year. So they're really going to pressure DeSantis to see what can happen. But yeah, that was a pretty important that was a pretty important development there last night. And so McKenzie Milton again was not happy, and this is his last year, so you can understand that.
Yeah, there you go. Proof he's not happy. Sorry, Kens. Didn't know it was going to work out that way. Apologies.
Well, I read that. So the people listening on the podcast, for those that try to justify free education as a way to stand against the NIL laws being passed are part of the issue. The NCAA really helped out when it came to paying for 9 knee surgeries and hundreds of thousands of dollars in medical bills. Oh, wait, with a smiley, laughy, cryy face. But wouldn't UCF have paid for that?
I think so. Yeah, I there's no way kids are paying out of pocket. No way.
So I'm 100% on McKenzie Milton's side. It is ridiculous now that they're all of a sudden they're worried about it. In the last minute, they're getting cold feet because again, these coaches in the state of Florida, they have been using this as a recruiting tool for a year. So Norvell tweeted it, Dillingham retweeted it, Adam Fuller retweeted it. They're going to be trying to put a lot of pressure on the dude that lives in the governor's mansion, at least some of the time, to change this and make it right in their estimate and get that back to July 1st, 2021. Because otherwise they'll just be punting it.
Yeah. All right, let's start this thing off. Rob Rapeman in the house. He's already dropping 50 bones. Let's go, Rob.
Dollar bills, y'all.
See, now it's too loud. I got to find that happy medium.
No, I thought that was perfect. I didn't think that was too loud.
Rob, 50 bones, and all he wants to say is let's go. So I said it for you, Rob. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Extremely kind of you. If you got a question, Rob, just go ahead and post it down there. Don't feel the need to add anything monetarily. We'll get to it. I'll try my best to get to it. Eric Angel follows up. Eric here, man. Eric just pillar? Is he working?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's trying. What's up, gentlemen? Can FSU get that swagger back this year or next year like the old days during the Bowden era? Draft night, let's go Noles.
Eric, thank you very much, man. That's very nice. Was it Rob?
Yeah,
Rob Rathburn. Thank you very much, man. You guys are too kind. Thank you so much. It's really, really meaningful. And again, I will stress this. We've gotten through the pandemic, but it was touch and go there for a while. Like Warchant wasn't going to shut down, but maybe some jobs would have been lessened or something. And you guys really did. We didn't ask for it. We didn't expect it. But it was a really, it just was so nice that you guys started doing this whenever that was 12 months ago. And to keep doing it is really, really nice. It's over the top generous. So thank you very much, everyone. Yeah. No, I don't think they're going to get the swagger. I don't think that's going to happen this year. Maybe next year. Okay. But again, I don't know that the old days are ever going to happen where no, look, they're not going to be a dynasty again. We don't have to go into that again. But Florida State should be at a point where they get, they go into every season expecting to compete for an ACC championship. That is not asking too much. And when they walk on the field with Wake Forest, there should be a lot of swagger. They should start fights with their place kickers. They should do whatever they need to do. They should have swagger and just go throttle the teams that they need to throttle.
By the way, we got some phone calls we're going to hop to here in a second. All the people that do the super chats, we appreciate it. We pop you up on the screen. There's a lot of people asking us questions, and I don't pop up all the questions that you people ask, and people are like, well, do I have to pay? And it's like, well, not really, but like, I'm not going to talk about recruiting, man. I don't want to sound like a jerk about it, but I mean, I don't know, Corey, do you want to postulate what you think Nico Marchio is thinking now that AJ Duffy has gone ahead and committed?
Here's what I think.
That's going to affect MJ Morris. Do you want to talk about, you go ahead.
Don't you think? They're not going to sign 3 quarterbacks.
No.
So I feel like we're offering both of you, whoever chooses first, you're our one. Now, you got to make sure that Duffy stays with the pledge. But no, obviously it would affect the 3rd quarterback in line. But Nico, look, man, I just think, number one, these guys are wired differently. An elite athlete, especially a quarterback, they have to have supreme confidence. He doesn't think he's not scared of that. He's not scared of AJ Duffy. He thinks he's going to win. I talked to Sean McGuire in the summer of 2012 when he was at the Jimbo Fisher camp and had just committed or was about to commit something, but Jameis was already committed. Yep. And Sean McGuire was like, I'm not worried about it. Like, he's going to be splitting time with baseball. So I think I have a real good shot. Now, Smag was wrong. But these guys are just built different. They have confidence. It'll work itself out. I just can't imagine that these coaches told Nico, you're our only recruit. He had to know that they were recruiting another quarterback. So this should not have come – as long as they've been transparent through the process, as long as they told him, hey, we've offered these 2 other quarterbacks because we need depth. We're going to take one of them. We want to be upfront with you and let you know that. Then there should be no – it's not like that was a surprise. I don't think Nico was floored by that. Like, wait, what? Y'all recruiting another quarterback? What? You hope not anyway, because that's not how you do business. You can't recruit like that. You got to build trust with these guys. So I think they've been developing that the whole time. They've been upfront with them. Any coach worth their salt would be upfront and say, we're recruiting 2 at this position. We're taking 2. You're our first one. We think you can play here, but we're also recruiting another quarterback, and you've got to be okay with that.
Well said. Gator Kirk, first caller of the day, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Looks like he wants to talk about that acronym that we were talking about at the top of the program, but I'm sure he has his own little spin on it. Gator Kirk, good evening, man. How are you?
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Living, my man. We are living. Getting ready for the draft.
That's right.
Yeah. Congrats on the new house there, Aslan.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It's not going to look nearly as cool behind me, though. I don't have a built-in bookshelf, so I'll have to figure something out. So don't think I took a step back in life, everybody. I'm not. I'm climbing.
Why don't you get one of these bad boys? I'm not talking about my biceps either.
I know. Look at you. You got bigger arms than Matt Nelson, man.
Yeah, I should start going sleeveless like him.
You should, man. Yeah, I appreciate it, Gator Kirk. How are you, man? Everything's in the 757.
Yeah. They're good. It's like Florida weather the last 2 days, almost
Nice.
90 degrees and stuff. So
Drink it in.
that makes life pretty good.
Absolutely.
But my actual question I'd written down before I knew the state of Florida went a little bit backwards on the NIL, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Do it,
because I'm gonna assume that they're going to come to their senses. So you guys get to offer two NIL offers to current FSU players. Which offensive player and defensive player get the offers from you?
Well, look, right now it's Mackenzie Milton because it means a lot to him, and he's going to do a good job. It's quite apparent that this means a lot to him. And I'm poking fun, but I 100% understand. So he'll give us. I just worry about Jordan Travis. I don't know that he's got that salesmanship that we need to convince people to subscribe to Warchant. I think Mackenzie Milton could bring him over in droves. So for me, it's Mackenzie Milton. Aslan, would you go a different route?
No, I'll take Mackenzie. I almost want to, but hey, Jordan, man, all right, yeah, Jordan. I think Jordan. Not to be that guy. Maybe a little more photogenic, I think, than Mackenzie, perhaps.
Oh, okay.
We're trying to sell. We're trying to sell stuff. There's a certain adage that applies to that. And then defensively, Jermaine Johnson. It's got to be Jermaine Johnson. There's nobody since Brian Burns that I've felt as confident about somebody having a really good season since I've been on the beat, which has been all of 3 years. And for a lot of you, that was not good. We missed the mark on Brian Burns. Where's he at? You guys say he was dominating every day. I don't see him dominating. But Jermaine Johnson's about as much of a sure thing as anything that comes to Florida State football for me right now. So that's what we want our brand to be represented by.
And it'd be good, too, because he could say, look, people ask why I came to Florida State. It's because what's the Rivals Georgia site?
Dog Vent? What do I want to read about myself on Dog Vent? No, I want to go to the biggest, baddest Rivals site on the network. I want to go to warchant.com. I want to read Corey and Aslan and Ira and Gene
and I want to get up those recruiting updates from Langston. Yeah, I think we could sell that. Like, this is why I made the move, and you need to make the move to Warchant. You need to subscribe to Warchant. So I don't know how much that's going to cost. $1,000? There's no price. Like, somebody's got to set the price. You know what I mean? There's got to be that first kid somewhere in this country that gets a website or a car dealership, and it's going to be $1,500 or $2,000 or $6,000. There's got to be a price. There's got to be a market set, and then we'll go from there. But we should set the market. We
should, because if we don't, Alabama's going to set it, and then none of us are going to be able to afford anything.
Well, good point.
So it looks like Apex. There you go, gassing up our.
Who's that? Brownlee? Uh-oh. I think I lost Aslan. Or maybe y'all lost me. I can't tell. Anyway, I'm here, guys. I don't know. Oh, there we go. He's back. Good.
Yeah. Well, the internet's better at the old house, or the new house, rather. Well, what it really is that my Ethernet cord, the little tab on it, has broken off. And Gene replaced it like 2 weeks ago, and it keeps falling out, but I've rigged it so it doesn't. But you guys don't want to hear about that. What else you got for us, Gator Kirk?
That's it for this evening. We're just about 3 months, just a little over 3 months before fall camp begins.
You ain't lying.
Got all the big, I guess, middle school camps coming up this month in Florida. No, that is my question. I think the last one towards the end of the month in Tally. Do you think you all will be invited out to that one, even though it's 8th grade and under?
Well, yeah, right, Aslan. We can go to that. I assume they want all the press they can get for something like that. So yeah, I mean, it would be weird if he lets us come to their real practices, but then won't let us come to his clinic. So I think we'll be out there for that for sure.
Yeah. We got something even before then. We even have some before then. So keep your eyes peeled to Warchant. Gator Kirk will have you covered on that. I assure you.
Tasty tease right there.
They're all over the state. So no, that's all I have for tonight. Make sure all you guys, be the lunatic, support Warchant. I'm sure pretty soon with the spring here, they're going to have a special offer at some point. And as always, go Noles. Thanks for taking my call. Good luck with the move.
Thank you, Gator Kirk. Thank you. It's not going to be fun, but I appreciate that. That comforts me. It's Gator Kirk, everybody. 757 Virginia Beach, Virginia's own. We are now 129 days, 128 if you're listening to the podcast on Friday, from putting Total Leather, Doak Campbell Stadium, Notre Dame in town. Hang on. Gene William Floyd. Okay. Let's go another phone call here. I haven't been able to keep an eye on YouTube. I apologize. Right? I'm not trying to neglect you folks on YouTube. Let's get another call. Let's go. Do you want to go to Townsville, North Carolina?
Yeah. Let's see what old D-Train has.
It's Daryl, yo. Daryl, good evening to you. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, Aslan. How you doing? How you doing, Corey?
Well,
I guess Gator Kirk has the 757 lockdown, and I have the 336.
That's right.
Here in North Carolina lockdown. So,
that is correct.
We got about a month before they open things up in the recruiting area, and I wanted to talk to you about the coaching comparison and the positive momentum that I think last year mine was kind of going through new coaching and kind of their positive momentum with with everything going on a high momentum. This year Florida State's got kind of new coaching, and now we're on a kind of high with our positive recruiting, with some good recruiting happening with us. Now they had a real good football season last year. Now this year I think we can do better than what they did last year, and I'm looking for maybe a 9 and possibly a 10-win season. I'm taking my positive up there with Mark.
Yeah,
down there, down there with him. So down there in the Naples area. So what's y'all's take on that?
Well, yeah, the recruiting momentum is a big deal for sure, and it certainly seems. I mean, that's a big get to get a quarterback like that to come in April is a really big get, and We'll see. I think it's a good point you bring up about, it opens back up. I think Aslan, right? June 1st. Isn't
Yes,
that when
correct.
you can start? It's wide open. It's not the dead period anymore. The longest dead period in history is officially over, a 16-month dead period. So that's when I feel like just that I'm really interested in that month, those 2 months in June and July, to see what Norvell does. I know he's going to do camps, but what else happens? How much more momentum can he get? They've done a really good job, all things considered, with this recruiting class, but it's hard to build a ton of momentum when you can't see them. You just can't see them. They don't come to campus, really. So now you can start hosting camps, hosting recruits. They can come on officials, a lot of unofficials. You can show them around. You can have contact with them. It's going to be a whole lot different. I'm really interested to see how that transpires and how many more commits they get over those 2 months going into the season. As far as the season, I really don't know.
Is Florida State's haul on par with what Miami brought in last year, Corey?
Well, we'll see. No, I mean, they've only got 8 commitments right now. I don't remember what Miami finished last year. I feel like they were top 15.
Well, I mean, in terms of what they did in the transfer portal, I apologize. Well,
I mean, I guess, right? I mean, I don't think Mackenzie Milton is going to be as dynamic as Derek King was for this offense. We don't even know if Mackenzie Milton's going to start, but everything else, it seems like it, right? Like, I think they got an early round pick at defensive end, like Miami got. I think is the Jalen Phillips kid? Is he supposed to be a first round pick? The kid from UCLA?
Yeah.
I don't know that Jermaine Johnson's that, but he might be. I don't know. And they've got a lot of other guys that'll probably start just like Miami did. They could use a transfer kicker maybe if these 2 guys don't work out, because Miami got a great one there. But yeah, I think when you look at what Miami did last year and what Florida State did this year in the portal, it's similar. And if they can have a similar type of run, it's a tougher schedule, I think, than Miami had last year. But if they can have a similar type of success and get to 8 or 9 wins, this baby might be a geyser. It might be Old Faithful. It might spring a leak, and Florida State might become bubbling up to the surface again.
Miami probably had a little bit of a better foundation they were building off of. But
they had a defense. They had a defense to build off of. Their 2019 defense was decent to pretty good, or good, actually. Florida State's 2020 defense almost blinded me for life. It was so bad. So there is the difference there.
What else you got, Daryl?
I think that's about it. I mean, I enjoy listening to y'all each and every week, and it kind of kicks off my weekend, and I can't wait to y'all to listen to y'all on Monday morning and everything like that. But I just want to let y'all know how much we appreciate y'all each and every day, and how y'all carry us throughout the off season. And I look forward to listening to y'all on Monday, and just want to let y'all know what a great job y'all do each and every day, and just want to thank y'all for all your content on Warchant. And y'all guys, if y'all don't have warchant.com, make sure you sign up for it. Drink your little coffee and hit that thumbs up, because these guys deserve that thumbs up, and go Noles.
Let's go, Daryl. Let's go, man. That was
old D-Train. Old D-Train coming through.
Way too kind, man. Thank you so much, Daryl. We appreciate it, man. I'm glad we're able to give you kind of a rhythm to your week, man. Thank you very much. Speaking of transfer portal, what you got out of it, Florida State waiting for that final piece. Well, actually, I guess the second to final piece. They still have 1 scholarship left, but Andrew Parchment, the wide receiver from Fort Lauderdale originally via Northern Illinois, and then in JUCO, and then Kansas now. Irish O'Fell was able to grab him for an interview exclusively, so it's already up on warchant.com. So if you haven't seen it, go over and check it out. Use the promo code WARCHANT30 if you're not a member.
You're going to be a fan of Andrew Parchment if you read that. You probably are anyway, because he's garnet, and he's going to be wearing garnet and gold. But those quotes are enlightening, man. That was a good get by Ira, and he looks like a guy that you're really going to want to root for, and has a unique perspective on this final year of college. That was a really interesting, well done story.
Yeah.
For our man that's he's prepping for a procedure that all 50-year-old men are supposed to get tomorrow. I think that's out. I think he mentioned that on headlines. So be thinking of Ira. He's going through it today as he preps for what's coming tomorrow. So just, give him a shout out, give him some love, because he needs it. It's not fun.
Okay.
You're going to be doing one of these days, Aslan.
I know. I was actually going to get one when I was in Mississippi, but I literally had nobody to pick me up and drive me home after the procedure. So I'm like, I can't do it.
So that's a Charlie Brown sad.
I know, right? Being a lonely man, gonna die a lonely old man. Eric's back though. I won't, because I got guys like Eric around hanging out, lifting me up all this time. He just threw $12 more at us. I guess that might be because of Aaron Rodgers' number. Is Aaron Rodgers 12?
That seems right.
Okay.
That
Corey,
seems
I know
right.
you're from Atlanta. Are you going to vouch for Aaron Rodgers to the Falcons as he wants out of Green Bay?
Oh, I would take Aaron. I would trade
Absolutely.
Matt Ryan in the whole draft, like literally every draft pick for Aaron Rodgers for the next 4 years. Because it ain't like he's slow. I know he's 38 years old or whatever he is, but he just won the MVP.
Yeah.
He's still really good. It doesn't look like he's dipping anytime soon. Apparently quarterbacks can play till they're 50. They're like left-handed relievers. So I would take Aaron Rodgers in a heartbeat. I don't know though. Like have you watched him when he does those interviews with Pat McAfee on the Pat McAfee show? Aaron Rodgers. Did I lose Aslan again? I'll talk while Aslan is frozen on my screen. Hopefully you can hear me. But he's a really interesting dude, and he seems like laid back and kind of fun. And I want to like him because he seems really likable. And then nobody in his family talks to him, and that seems like a pretty red flag, like a very bright red flag. So that's a little off-putting. But like Patrick Reed, the golfer, like he does his parents, he wasn't talking to his parents, so that's a little off-putting. But man, I don't care, Aaron Rodgers. I don't care if nobody in your family will ever even say your name. You can come to Atlanta. I'll say your name. I'll hang out with you. I'll be your family. You can come over for Thanksgiving dinner. I'll cook you Thanksgiving dinner, Aaron Rodgers.
I hope the Niners get him, man. Come home. Come back to the Bay Area, man. Where you should have been. Where you should have been.
Yeah, that's right.
Where you should have been. All right. James B., big heavy hitter. He's here. He's here,
Let's
everybody.
go.
He's got his DeLuna. He's ready to go.
Dollar bills, y'all.
Let's go, man.
A pillar in the house.
Another
pillar in the house.
Straight cash, homie.
James, thanks, man. Thanks, James.
For real.
Thank you.
Thanks, James. James, I apologize. You didn't get to meet Aslan at the get together. I'll make sure he sticks around at Gene's house before the one in September, and you'll get to meet him and you'll get to hang out with him. But yeah, James was a cool hang, man. You should have stayed. You should have stuck around, Aslan. That was a fun time. But thank you very much, James. That's very, very kind.
You're right. I'm trying to get us on Instagram, but having some problems with that. I apologize. Yeah, thanks, James. James, you got a comment? You usually got some thunder to bring. Go ahead, post it, man. We'll knock it around. We'll kick it around. We'll discuss it. It's what we do on the show. Seven Toms is here. Seven Toms also hanging out at the after party. A little bit of that.
Dollar.
A little bit of that. 24.99.
Seven Toms, you're a good dude, man. Thank you very much, for real. And what teams do you think wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers? Like the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, the Bucks, I guess. Bucks got
the
Brady.
Bucks would take him. The Bucks would take him. He's younger than Brady. They'd take him. I don't know that there's got to be another team I'm not thinking of, but there can't be more than
the Bills.
The Bills. Yeah, I think the Bills would still take Aaron Rodgers. Literally, I think even at 37 or 38, I think every team in the league, other than Kansas City, would give up a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers.
Seahawks? Right? I mean,
yes. Yep. All of them. I can't think of one that wouldn't off the top of my head.
No, I can't either. Let's go back to the phone lines. There. Speaking of positivity, we got the ray of sunshine himself. We got the prodigal father of a 3 handicapper, which we're not going to let him quit. Mark, he's not quitting on our watch. Darn, it's Mark from Naples. Everybody.
Oh, they're actually just talking about you. Hey,
and tell him we won't talk about him if he stops playing golf. There's no reason to talk about him if he stops playing golf.
He wants to say hi. This is my son Sean. Just say hi and go no. Here you go.
What's up, Sean? Sean, what's up, man?
Sean, it's a pleasure, man. It's a pleasure. I can't wait to see you on the Corn Ferry tour, whatever that first one's called, the web, and then obviously on the PGA tour in about, what do you say, Aslan, about 8 years, 10 years, probably.
Yeah. I want you to autograph your Scotty Cameron putter that your father bought you, and then gift it to me once you win your first tour victory.
Yeah, no pressure though.
Yeah.
Mark, that's your fault for putting him on the phone.
No, we're still talking to Sean. Sean, who's your favorite Florida State player?
Deion Sanders.
Okay, good. Look at that,
Oh,
Corey.
wow. That was a good one.
Dad taught him
That's
well.
the best answer. Yeah, that's the best answer you could have had.
Can you drive it further than your dad?
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. All right, well, go hit the books, man, since you're not going to play golf anymore. Go be great at school then if you're not going to play golf. Let's get your dad back on the phone.
All right, see ya.
Thanks, Sean. Be well.
All right. I figured he'd want to meet you guys.
Good kid, Mark. Good job. We did some pressure. We applied some pressure, but not too overt.
Yeah, no, he's going through puberty, so his voice is dropping a little bit. So
Nice.
I'm not sure if it's not with Brady already, it's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Buckle up. What's up, Mark?
I was going to talk about what's up. Wake up.
Living. Yeah, that's what I want to hear, Mark. Come on, man. You're grinding. You're toiling away in the office. Law, being a lawyer, lawyering. This is the fun time of the day, man.
Yeah, bring the juice. Let's bring the juice, Mark. Let's go.
Air Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's the off season, but I'm so excited about the recruiting momentum. People said that, question whether, we've already got quarterback commitments. I read the Q&A from AJ Duffy today that I think Michael posted. It was very encouraging. So the thing is like, he talks about this bond with Dillingham and Norvell and how it's like an offensive-minded system. He's so excited. Like, it feels a bit different because all these guys will say, yeah, it's family. I feel good when I'm there, but I'm excited. You guys know I'm not optimistic person, but just want to know if you guys feel the same way, if it feels a bit different than, say, 3 years ago.
Yeah, man, because they're getting guys to commit. That's the real big difference, right, Mark? Because Willie was in the mix for a lot of guys, and then the season happened, and obviously they had second thoughts about wanting to commit.
Well, let's stop right there. We're talking about quarterback commits. So yes, it feels different than the Willie Taggart era because my man didn't sign a quarterback. So right there, it's different. But yeah, sorry, Aslan, go ahead.
Well, he brought in Jordan Travis. Like, who gets? Does he get credit for it, or does Kendall get credit for it? I mean, I know he didn't play him, he didn't deploy him, but still, it's kind of ironic that, he had a hand in bringing in the guy that might spark plug this entire operation this year. But yeah, no, I think it does feel different because, man, they're getting. I mean, right? They have two quarterbacks. One of them's a Rivals 100 guy. These aren't project backup plan guys. These are like two legit dudes that you feel that whoever like best man wins. Whatever the iron that sharpens the iron, the sharpest iron from both those guys is going to be probably, all ACC caliber. You're hoping like second team all ACC somewhere around there. They've got a pretty good track record of developing quarterbacks. So this is going to be the cool thing to watch them finally be able to, because who knows what's going to happen with Chuba, Tate Rodemaker. It's hard to say Tate was probably the best kind of option they had. We were the best option for Tate at the time, but now they've had a full cycle. They go after these two guys. They've developed quarterbacks in different conferences, Power 5, Group of 5, different parts of the country. It'll be cool to see them develop these guys, and then we get a good feel for not only how good their evaluation is, but, again, really making this place another quarterback factory again. Right, Corey? Stamp it. Stamp the approval on it.
Absolutely, Aslan. I like what they're doing. I like a staff that'll recruit quarterbacks. That's a smart thing to do. And yeah, so next year they could very well have 5 quarterbacks on their roster. Well, no, they're not going to have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. It'll shake out some way, but I do think they'll sign 2. And then, Chuba, Tate, Jordan, that'll work itself out, but they won't have 5 quarterbacks on their roster next year. But either way, yeah, man, I think it does feel different, but I hesitate. We can't sign off yet that this is that he's been a home run. I think all the early indications are this dude knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. He's put a nice staff together, and they've got some momentum in recruiting. So let's hope that carries over on the Saturdays in the fall. But for right now, for April 29th, 2021, coming off what this program has come off the last 3 or 4 years, you should feel optimistic. Yeah, you shouldn't be through the roof. You shouldn't be booking your the Orange Bowl tickets yet, but you should be optimistic because I do think this guy has done a really good job in the last 6 months.
Yep. Yeah, I mean it's it's coming off a 3-6 season, and all the turmoil. To have this kind of momentum, I think, speaks volumes. And like you said, we got to put it on the field. I think it'll happen. I mean, you know, and then you look at the defensive guys we're pulling in, like Travis Hunter and these transfers. I mean, they love this guy. They'll go through a wall for him, and it'll take time. It's not, you know, like I said, next year we're not going to go and beat all of our rivals, but we'll beat a couple of them. I'm pretty sure.
Let's hope. Let's hope.
So thank you guys. I just want to say, you know, you guys make my drive to work that much better. And then when I can't catch it in the morning, I'll catch it during the day in the office. And then when my staff interrupts me when I'm listening to you guys, I'm like, get out of my office listening to Corey and Aswan. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, man. We appreciate the kind words and the super tips every now and then. We appreciate it. You're the man, Mark. Can't wait, man. 100, what do we say? 100, how many days away? 129?
I thought you said 129. Yeah, 129 days.
Oh, man, we're ready. We're ready for you, man. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it, man. Stay on top of Sean. Make sure he doesn't become a knucklehead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he is, but I'll keep him in line.
There
Thank you guys so much.
Good. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it. Let's keep it rolling, man. Let's go to the villages. You know who resides in the villages. They call him Wes. Wes, what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
Good.
What's up, Wes? Good, man. Good.
Love the energy and excitement.
There we
I feel
go.
like it's yeah, I got a lot of positive things going on for everybody. Everybody, that's good stuff. You guys started. I just kind of picked it up. I had on speaker, kind of in and out. But my big thing tonight was, and I got to give Corey a little props. You know, I've done that a couple of times, but I got to give credit where it's due. You kind of spoke it into existence. I think it was Monday's show where you were talking about we had a couple of decommitments, and it'd be good to get somebody committed. And here's DJ Duffy coming to the rescue.
I feel like he probably maybe wanted to commit, who knows, a month ago, 2 months ago. And they're like, nah, hold it. Let's wait a little while. And then after the second decommit, they're like, let's go, AJ. Let's go. It's time. It's time now. Let's get some momentum back on our side. So, yeah, I mean, that does happen. Jimbo, I was always iffy on if coaches cared about that stuff and if recruiting momentum, if there was even such a thing. And Jimbo convinced me, oh, yeah, there is. Like, there is. It does happen. It can become a snowball. And he did used to space them out strategically. So they weren't all at once, but they also weren't all spaced out every 6 weeks. Like he would want, constantly in the news with positive recruiting updates. So, yeah, it does matter to these guys. And it was a big deal. It's a big get. Good job by Norvell.
Yeah, and I think with these two, Marchio and Duffy, I mean, anything can happen. There's a long way to go still, but I don't think we'll have a repeat of the Luke Altmaier situation. I mean, both these guys seem really dialed in, and they got the guys they wanted. And so, save for a terrible product on the field, I don't see losing either of those two guys, which kind of dovetails into my question. And I heard you guys talking just a minute ago about it briefly, but I don't know. We definitely won't have 5 quarterbacks on the roster next fall. My thing is, I anticipate Rodemaker transferring, but I want to get your thoughts on that, and also the idea that potentially Chubba Purdy may transfer. Do you guys kind of think that you could potentially see that happening, given everything, or put any thought into that?
Oh, did you see that throw, Corey?
I did see that one. Don't be rude. Don't be rude to Wes, though, or our podcast listeners. But that was a very nice throw by AJ Duffy right there. He kind of ripped that. He let him. I mean, that's his. I mean, he was wide open, but still, he put that right on. That's a great throw. Yeah, no, look. There's just, it's college football in 2021. You're not going to have 5 scholarship quarterbacks. So I don't know how it will shake out. I would imagine one of Purdy or Rodemaker, and I have no inside knowledge. You don't need inside knowledge in this particular case. One of them, I don't think will be here next year. If Jordan Travis stays and Chubba Purdy stays, and you're bringing in 2 high school commits, what is Rodemaker saying to himself? Like, he's going to want to go play. It's the nature of the position, and it's the nature of being in a college football in 2021. So yeah, I would not be surprised if Rodemaker transferred. If he does not take a significant step and at least compete for the job in August, if he's well behind Jordan Travis or well behind Chubba Purdy, it wouldn't make sense to stick around. And sometimes these guys will even get, they won't be shoved out of the door, but they'll get a polite, like, butt tap. Like, hey, man, if you think of somewhere else, now wouldn't be a bad time to do it. That happens too, because you want the kid to land on his feet and be able to play, but you don't want him to just toil on your depth chart for 4 years. If you don't think he can start for you, you're not going to want him to toil on the depth chart for 4 years and perhaps scare other people away from coming. So one of those guys will get a polite butt tap to maybe explore other options, I would think. I do think both of these guys coming in, it does sound like they're steadfast on Florida State. They both realize that it's not a surprise they're both coming in at the same time. They will compete, and I would be surprised again if both of them were here in 4 years. It's just the nature. You sign 2 quarterbacks hoping one of them can play.
Yep.
It's like throwing money at a problem. You're throwing bodies at a problem. You sign 2 hoping one of them, like Aslan said, can be an all ACC type. And they will be on equal footing when they start competing for the job. Aslan, you just going to sit there?
Well, I was giving some space to let Wes come up with a second question. Yeah, there's nothing else to say. I agree with everything you said. Yeah, man.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks.
We've underscored it. We've underlined it. We've circled it. We've stamped it.
Nice.
Double stamped it. Triple stamped it. What else you got on your mind, Wes?
One little thing. One thing about that commitment from Duffy that pushed us back up to top 10. I think with 8 commits.
Correct.
And I went ahead just for the fun of it, looked to see where little brother from down south sits, and I was thinking like around 70, 74 with 1 commitment. And so that felt pretty good checking that out. And that other team is like, I don't know, mid-20s. And so again, going 3-6 and doing what they did in the transfer market, getting these good, commits. You got Hunter spearheading it. That guy is insane. And Markio, recruiting guys. I think at this point, you get at least 6-7 wins and look good against your rivals. Don't get blown out. I mean, I think you'll see a top 10 class for sure. And 2022 ought to be really special, in my opinion.
I agree. And I think, again, like Daryl brought up, starting in June, the dead period's over. It's not just for the 2022 class either. The 2023 class, the 2024 class, that all starts up in June. And these guys can finally start evaluating and start developing relationships, which is the key to recruiting, clearly. Good job again, Aslan.
Fine. I did have something else, but I was waiting until you prompted me. But Corey, he chimed in. So I did have something else. I was just waiting until everybody spoke.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
So I wanted to ask your guys' thoughts. Donovan Kaufman out of Vanderbilt, the DB out of Vanderbilt. I know we were in on him before, and he ended up committing to Vanderbilt. But there seems to be a ton of interest in Florida State going after him and getting him. And I was surprised to hear that because of, let's face it, all the transfer DBs and what we got. Do you guys think that they may try to slide him into a safety position instead of in like a corner? I don't know where he was playing at Vanderbilt for sure, but do you guys know anything on that or got any sense of where that kind of is?
Well, look, normally I would be like, what in the world? How many DBs do you need, Adam Fuller? Let Alex Atkins get one person. Let him get one body instead of you hogging up all the transfers. But this kid is, what would he be, a sophomore?
Yeah.
Like if he's the class of 20. So this is not a 1-year rental. So that would give more reason. If you think this all conference type player, he's a 4-star, a really good player that could be the anchor of your defense, not just in 2021, but down the line, I would be a little more open to taking a commitment from him than I would be if he was going to be a senior, because good grief, enough. But this kid could actually be there. He could be a player in your secondary for a couple of years and worth it over a 1-year rental at left tackle that might not be great anyway. So I don't have any inside knowledge on how close they are to him, but I think a lot of people, when it would happen immediately, their first reaction would be another DB. You're going to use the last spot on another DB, but you could say, okay, well, maybe they made a mistake in a couple of the ones they accepted earlier than that. But this kid, if you could get him, if he's a 4-star caliber player, an all-conference type player, and you get him for multiple years, I think that could be worth it.
He apparently was leading the SEC in kick return yardage before he got hurt last season. He played in the first 2 games, Texas A&M and LSU, but then missed the South Carolina Ole Miss games. But yeah, he led the SEC in kick return average, 27.4 yards.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, they return kicks at Florida State. Believe you me. Yeah. They return a lot of kicks at Florida State. So he'll get a chance there. But yeah, so if he
want an offensive lineman. I want an offensive lineman.
I got you.
I want a linebacker. I want a wide receiver. I would take all that before I take a defensive back. But hey, I don't see these guys every day. Maybe maybe there's some of these guys that aren't going to live up to their recruiting ranking and they want to replenish. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Any other things for us there, Wes?
I did have one question. It's I like to ask the random things. People don't like. I mentioned about the intro songs and just got the executive producer title and that. And so, but I wanted to know the guy that says the intro, that's Wake Up Warchant fueled by doing a coffee before you come on. Is that somebody you know personally? Is that just a default voice? I was always curious who's got that voice because it's pretty killer.
Oh, I need to mark this down, and I'm going to send him the video.
That was 45 is when that question started.
All right, perfect. No, it's my he's actually I joked with him, I called him my assistant sports director. When I was working in Alabama and Dothan, he was working there before I got there as the weekend guy, and then I came aboard there. He's a Florida State grad too. He went to Florida State. Younger dude, he's down working for CBS HQ now. He's doing really well. He's from the South Florida area, so he's back home. He's a producer down there doing really good. So yeah, him. And then the other dude was another guy that worked with me in Alabama as well, who's now working in Huntsville. So yeah, so when these things happen, there's voice actors out there, but they cost money. So I'm just like, hey guys, I'll buy you a beer the next time I see you. Can you do this? And like, yeah, sure. And he's been wanting to do more voiceover work. And he's like, yeah, I think I really got a good voice. I think I can do this. I'm like, yeah, you can. So, and I'll let him know that West in the Villages said that he can. So that'll just add fuel to the fire.
Yeah. I would say, you know how to spot the talent. It jingles right along real well.
There we go. I try, man. I try.
What else do you expect from the best podcast in America? I mean, you guys.
That's what we do. That's what we do. We deserve a voice like that.
What we expect. James B says, Wes, cut that promo, brother. It's a request from James.
The demand is there for it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for taking the call. It's always a good time. Y'all take it easy. Everybody, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to warchant.com, the best in the business. Don't forget, drink that delicious DeLuna coffee. Go Noles. Have a good evening, fellas.
That's right. Let's go, man. That's Wes, y'all. That's Wes in the Villages, man. We appreciate it, man.
You never said your friend's name that does the voiceover.
Oh, Noah. His name is Noah.
Okay, there you go. Give him a shout out. What's his Twitter handle?
I think it's Noah Mindell. 1L.
Okay.
Yeah. It's funny because when I first got there, I was like, "Oh, are you related to the guy that does the My Pillow thing?" He's like, "That's Lindell." I'm like, "Okay."
So no.
Yeah. So it's been working out all right. Look at this. Matthew Cash has got some cash. Ooh, that's aggressive. That was aggressive.
That was good.
Was it good? I hit the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I'm losing my hearing or something, which is not good. Like, I don't know. Like, some stuff sounds loud. Some stuff doesn't sound as loud. He wants to know where's Corey's right arm going. If you haven't been watching this on YouTube live, if you're listening to the podcast, Corey's been doing this whole show practically with his arm off.
Right. Right. It's a chair. It's really, I apologize. It's a tick. I do it with my buddies when we're just sitting around. I always just have to stretch out. If there's a chair there, I'm going to put my arm on it, even if somebody's in it. Okay. So I apologize. You know what?
No, don't do that. So, like, now Stephanie's going to not feel like, so I'm sure anytime Stephanie sits next to you, put your arm around her, and now she's going to know that it's not because you feel the love for her. It's just like, I got to put my arm out when I'm sitting down.
No, I put my arm in front when she's sitting next to me.
Sorry. Are you like loosening up your arm after all that BP you threw to Brady the other day?
I did throw a little bit to Brady today too. And literally it's like, I think I need surgery. And I'm throwing 11 miles an hour. I'm throwing to a kid, a 12-year-old kid. And my arm is about to fall off. It's ridiculous. Thank you very much, Matthew. My arms are here now for the rest of the show. The rest of the show right here. Well, below you can't see what they're doing.
Look at this. This is why we have the best people that listen. Our listeners are the best. Octavio asked a recruiting question at the top of the show, and I'm like, I don't want to answer it. Corey, always knowing that you got to be nice to people, sincerely answer the question about it. And then Octavio comes back and he drops a 50 spot on us. Let's go, Octavio.
O-Dog in the house.
50 bones. Looks like you had a pretty attractive girlfriend, too. Well done, Octavio.
All right, calm down. Calm down, asshole.
I mean, I'm sorry. Look, are you not allowed to do that? Hey, good job. Just because you guys.
You're right. Hey, I looked at it. You're correct. Well done, Octavio. But still, I don't want to cross any lines.
I'm sure she's intelligent. I'm sure she has a lot of emotional intelligence. I'm sure she supports you, in your endeavors and is a very important, integral part of your day to day. So she also has a value beyond just, being attractive. So, anywho, just because you guys make my life, he says. He gives us $50. You never stop producing. Well, we did. We took 2 days off because I had to go home. It was my mom's retirement, by the way, everybody. So if you're upset, my mom retired after working at the same nursing home for 28 years. So it was crazy, man. Like, I was there. My brother and I surprised her. And, like, we walked in there, and it was like Bobby Bowden was signing autographs. There was a line of people waiting to, like, hug my mom, like all these patients. And then she comes home, and she's got these 2 bags of presents that her coworkers gave her. And it looked like she was a 5-star recruit. She had, like, mail that was like 12 inches high when you stacked all the envelopes of the thank you card. So it was super cool. She was really appreciative of it. So, but yeah, we're going to keep producing stuff. Ira's making sure that we do it. Matt Nelson interview with Corey that's coming up later on the show. Not on the show, but on the website. Never realized how much I needed the content. It's probably the only routine I still had during the pandemic. Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate that, man. Like Corey said, it was a little bit touch and go back there. But feels like we're making our way to the other side, and
it does, because if you put yourself in Octavio, that's very, very kind, man. Congratulations on the picture. Congratulations on being a Warchant listener, subscriber, and thank you very much. It's very, very kind. But if you put yourself in position of where we were April 29th a year ago,
oh gosh,
and just how miserable it was, just the not knowing, everything was on pause. The only thing I think we had seen to that point was that golf show, the foursome with like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and Mickelson and Tiger. That was it. That was the only golf. That was the only sporting highlight we had for 6 weeks or 2 months. And obviously there's more important thing than sports, like, health. But for us, the people that do this show and the people that watch this show, sports is a big part of our lives. And it was ripped away. And we tried our best to, keep it together, really, because it was tough, and it means a lot, man. I really do appreciate that, man. We tried our best to kind of keep things together and try to add a little levity and pretend that there was going to be a football season, and then there actually was a football season. Aslan, did I lose you?
The call dropped,
re-enter your
so I got a call to get back into the queue, and now you're hearing everything that's happening, and I put the wrong number in, so I'm doing a terrible job of this. Octavio, thank you so much. We're going to try to get back into the phone lines here. So Joseph's been asking about if you've seen strides in the secondary with Akeem Dent and Jarian.
We did not receive a response.
All right, stop.
Goodbye.
All right, fine. You hang up on me. I hung up on you. Corey, who's the better Little Leaguer, you or Brady? Talk about that for a minute.
Brady. I could not hit the ball like he can. I feel like I was probably a little bit better fielder, but I was a singles and doubles hitter at most, maybe a singles hitter, flares. Brady's got legit power and throws the ball harder than I could ever dream of throwing. So he also has a better dad than I did, though. So that comes into it too. Like, my dad didn't take me out and berate me for an hour every day on a baseball field. Hey, by the way, I wanted to say I feel like I gave the wrong impression of Brady yesterday when I was talking about how mad I was with the way he treated a coach. It was just that he was completely silent when a coach was telling him something. He did not talk back. He did not speak out of turn. He was completely silent, say yes, sir, or no, sir, or okay. He just kind of looked at him, waited for him to stop talking, and turned away. And I thought it was completely – he wasn't being disrespectful, because Brady can hear even when he's not listening to you or looking at you. But it looked disrespectful. So I made him go apologize today to that coach.
Eric asks what Nole goes off the draft board first.
Asante. And then I think it could be a while. It'll be interesting to see if Asante goes tonight. There's a chance. If he can sneak himself into the back half of the first round, that would be great. I think that's a great, Abdul. I think that's a great number. I think the over/under at 35, I think, is a really good one. I would take the under.
Let's hope.
But that's just wishful thinking. But I think it'd be right around that area somewhere.
I think I saw Kuiper had him going 31st. So that'd be
okay. All right. I'd love if the Falcons could get him in the second round tomorrow. That'd be great. I don't want them getting him at 4.
Right.
But I'm also not quite fired up about the idea of drafting a tight end at 4. But even as good as Kyle Pitts is, come on, man, our defense, the Falcons' defense is horrendous. Can't something be done there? But yeah, so either way, I think Asante will be right around that area, and it'd be cool if he was a first-round pick, man. I'm going to look it up. They've had to have had how many DBs do you think Florida State's had drafted in the first round over the course of the program? 22, 20, somewhere around there, right?
Yeah, I'd go under 20. That's a big number, man. First round
DBs. I bet it's close. I bet it's in the high teens or 20.
Yeah, I'll give it high teens, like 17 or so, maybe.
So maybe he could be number 20.
Yeah, there we go.
So anyway,
final caller of the evening. Let's go all the way out. No, I want to say Waikiki Beach, but it's probably not. It's Ralph, everybody. He's out in Hawaii. Ralph, how are you? I've got some Aloha Max. I'm living off the food that you've supplied to me because I'm moving out, Ralph, and I don't want to grocery shop. So my diet consists of macadamia nuts and all these exotic treats that you've sent me from the little island. I'm going to rip into this one now. But how are you, Ralph? Glad you're here, man.
Aloha, guys. How's it? I am blessed. Thank you. I didn't say this earlier, but you'll notice the Mac nuts I sent were unsalted because most people like putting them inside the pancake batter or chop them up and sprinkle them on top of the French toast. And I'm sorry I'm late with that info. I'm behind my game. I really apologize.
Oh, knock it off. You're good, man.
It's okay, Ralph. We'll let this one slide, buddy.
I wanted to, first of all, say thank you guys for putting in a good word for Miss Ingrid for me for getting a new tattoo. It ain't working yet, but we're going to keep trying.
We're climbing.
Okay, good.
We're climbing.
That's funny.
Real quick, I wanted to call in. Obviously, we're in the down period of football action. And, Corey, you've made reference to some different games in the past, you know, the Auburn or the Pitt game of the early 80s. And this, my request obviously goes out to everybody that's out there listening. Can people make some recommendations? I mean, we got the typical Miami and the Floridas of the 80s. Give me some recommendations of games in this down period. I should go YouTube and watch. I just watched the 80 Orange Bowl with Oklahoma. I was like, I think 9. And I remember watching that in California when we were stationed out there. And I didn't remember Oklahoma had to score in the last 2 minutes to win that one. So give me some recommendations, some games to watch. Also,
not only did they have to score in the last 2 minutes, but Florida State dropped like 2 sure interceptions that would have ended the game on that final drive. Man, there's a ton.
And didn't they all? I believe they attempted a field goal that could have won it, but it was a little bit far. But at least, you know, it was a good damn game.
Yeah, it was. It was. And luckily, that was the last time Florida State ever missed a late field goal to win a game. So you got to see some history there. I would say, man, if you want to go back, the 91 Michigan game to me is like an all-time. I don't know if you've seen that lately. That's on YouTube. But it's got Buckley, it's got Ampley, it's got Casey Weldon, Desmond Howard. That is an all-time great game.
Oh, yeah, I watched that one. But I remember, like, in the 80s, I think we did a home-and-home with Michigan State back when we were still climbing. Not just still from Norvell, but we were still climbing back then. Yeah, I just didn't know if maybe you had anybody out there really had some just recommendations that we can go back and relive the yesteryear. So I'll just.
What about Oktoberfest games?
Later when I get home.
What was your favorite Oktoberfest game, Corey?
The one where they played those 5 teams in a row, like it was at Pitt, at Ohio State, at LSU, at Notre Dame.
Which one?
I would say that to recommend probably the Notre Dame one, maybe the Ohio State one, but I don't know if that's on YouTube because I think Ohio State might have been on probation or something. For one reason or another, that game wasn't really on TV. I would say one that got lost in history, Ralph, and this was the first one that came to my mind, is the 1990 Virginia Tech game. It was Virginia Tech wasn't Virginia Tech at that time. They were still up and coming. Florida State was number 3 in the country and got down 21-3 in the first half to Virginia Tech. Brad Johnson was the quarterback. before he lost the job to Casey Weldon. But it had everything. It had a great comeback. It had a ridiculous Terrell Buckley interception return for a touchdown. It had a fumble return for a touchdown. It was just a really entertaining game. And if that's on YouTube, that would be one I'd recommend. But yeah, man, there are people maybe in YouTube land can I'm going to say Buckley's interception return before you scroll up. I'm going to say it was 57 yards.
All right, I pulled up Noel Fan, which is an amazing resource for Florida State fans.
Come on,
They've got the
one time
box scores, the rosters, everything from all these games. Corey's talking
Matt
about
Fryer did score a touchdown. I know Matt Fryer scored a touchdown in this game.
About the 19th
Brad Johnson
game against Virginia Tech, and he was saying that Matt Fryer scored a touchdown. There he goes, third quarter, 16 yards.
Yep.
Brad Johnson.
Give me the Buckley. 53. 53. And then the Errol McCorvey. No, that was Errol McCorvey. That was his cousin, I think. But yeah, so that was a really entertaining game. And then yeah, there's a ton. I wish there was somebody I could recommend on YouTube that has a bunch of old Florida State games, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. But
there's Seminole moments. Isn't it like Seminole Moments or Seminole?
Maybe they're on YouTube, but there obviously are some incredible games through all those years. The Michigan State ones would be a good one too. That was when Dion had that great interception, let Andre Rison run by him just so he could intercept it in the end zone. So yeah, man, there's a lot of good ones, and maybe people on the YouTube can like put down one of their not the ones we all know, not like you said, not like the Auburn one or even the Michigan ones probably were too well known, but maybe other like kind of forgotten type games that people really liked.
Yeah, or and the game itself might not be interesting, but you remember back in '93, Kansas, we had like an 11-play goal line stand.
Yeah, because they kept jumping. Florida State kept jumping off sides, so Kansas legitimately ran like 10 or 11 plays from inside the 5-yard line and didn't score. It ended up getting shut out, and it was 108 degrees in the Meadowlands that day because it was August. Yeah, it was in August.
Yeah. All right. Well, I was trying to get my football fix, so I knew you guys had a treasure trove of knowledge, some that I've forgotten over time. So really appreciate y'all taking my call.
Anytime. We appreciate you calling in, Ralph. Thanks so much, man.
Ralph, you're the best, buddy. You're the best. Thank you very much, man.
Well, mahalo and go Warchant, hoorah.
That's right. That's Ralph, everybody. He's out in Hawaii, but he's a Tallahassee native, but he's living the dream out there with his lady Ingrid. So
this is the thing, right? This is the Hawaii hang loose thing, right?
Yeah.
I can't get my fingers. This finger won't go down. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me to do. I'm not that coordinated, apparently.
There we go. All right, let's get back to YouTube as we wind things down. What time does the draft start? 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, man. 8 o'clock.
All right. In the wind. In the wind's here. 20 bones. Thank you, In the Wind. Great pickup with A.J. Duffy. Now we need to land Baby Shade Tree. Yeah, man.
Yes. Marvin Jones. You guys all know that's Marvin Jones' nickname. Not Baby Shade Tree, but Shade Tree. So, yeah, he needs to come at some point. Marvin Jones is a big Florida State fan. You know, he's kept invested and engaged in this program well before his son was a prospect. So, yeah, weak side defensive end that has some of that DNA running through him. Yeah, that would be a big deal. That'd be nice.
Thank you, In the Wind. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Matthew Cash is back. Let's go, Matt. Even at 11 miles an hour, y'all bring the heat.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a member of Warchant for a long time. I listen to y'all every time you have a podcast. Thank you for what y'all do. Well, thank you for that. No, thank you for the appreciation. It's reciprocated back to you guys. Thank you. It makes the show super fun to do. There were some times when we used to do the show back in the infancy of this where it's like, what are we doing? Like, we don't have a sponsor. Like, do we know, are people even really listening to this show? Like, do we really need to do a show? And now it's like, yeah, we need to do a show. We need to do a show. There's people out there. They're listening.
People are depending on us, man. They're depending on us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you very much, Matthew, for jumping back in.
For real. Thank you.
Try to pop it up. You didn't have to throw the money in there a second time, but thank you very much. And then look at this. Look at this guy.
There he is.
Ed, what's that? Come on, Ed. Let's go, Ed.
Guys, this is a very special occasion. The Godfather himself has been kind enough to grace us with his presence. The Godfather. This is his damn house. He lives there. He sleeps 20 feet away.
I wonder, like, what do we do when Gene ever comes in here? Like, I feel like maybe isn't Gene the Godfather kind of, but, you know, Ed's
no.
Gene's
Ed's
the Godfather of Warchant. This show this property is Ed's domain. Thank you, Ed.
Yep.
All these delicious products, this fabulously designed, meticulously designed mug, DeLuna. This is all them. Their website, DeLunaCoffee.com. Use the promo code WarChant15. Get yourself a discount. Hope we get some Noles drafted. I do too. Okay, so we think Asante is obviously getting drafted.
Yes.
Then after that, can we really say that about anybody else? I mean, Marvin's got to get drafted.
Marvin will get drafted. Hampson will get drafted. I think they're guarantees, and I really think Terry's going to
get drafted. Yeah.
But I think if you're a Florida State fan, watch tonight to see if Asante gets drafted. That would be cool to have a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Watch early tomorrow if he doesn't, and then you don't have to tune back in probably till Friday, right, or till Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Like that's going to be Florida State heavy. I think if there's going to be guys going, a lot of guys going, it'll probably be on Saturday.
Yeah.
But thank you, Ed. You're the best, man. Thank you.
Michael Carpenter says, this shows how much Warchant cares about the NFL draft by doing this now.
Hey, buddy, it ain't like they got anybody going in the top 2, so we got time. We're getting out of here. We would not have done this if it was the 2015 draft. We would have done it on another night. But it's 2021. We didn't feel like we were that. We weren't real worried about butting up against a Florida State player getting drafted. It will be done here very quickly. So you guys still got plenty of time for the draft.
Yeah, it's indeed. It's actually that is it. All the calls are done.
You gonna go ESPN or NFL Network, Aslan?
It's always been ESPN, man. It's just I'm used to it. It doesn't matter what happens, man. Yeah. Fox will have these big noon games on college football Saturday, but I'll be watching Northwestern Purdue because I'll still have ESPN game.
Listen to Pam Ward. You got Pam Ward in your ear because you can't turn the channel.
They rolled over to that game, and it's like, oh wait, Oklahoma's playing, Texas Tech or Iowa State. And they're both in the top 10 or something. But yeah, I'm a ESPN guy. That's how it is. And then Todd, I like McShay, I like Kuiper. Although I don't know who's helming it now that they don't have Trey Wingo any longer. I don't know who's going to be driving the boat. Maybe Greenberg, because Greenberg wasn't even on Get Up today. That guy's been talking about the draft for the last 4 months, trying to keep it up. So
maybe it's Chris Berman. Maybe he's making a return.
Oh, let's hope, man. I know it's cool to not like him, but I've always liked him. I've always liked Joe Buck. I think everyone's kind of finally coming around Joe Buck. So yeah, man, we'll have some cool stuff to talk about on Monday. We'll have a show almost pre-produced by what happens in the NFL draft. So that's a wrap for us. Don't forget, Florida State baseball back home here at Hauser, taking on Troy this weekend. We'll have some updates from that for you this weekend, and then we're going to unveil a new little weekly feature. It'll be starting on Monday, so do stay tuned for that. Thank you to Ed, Matthew, In the Wind, Octavio, 7 times, James, Eric, and Rob. We appreciate that. And all of our callers, Ralph, Gator Kirk, Mark called, Wes, Daryl, the dudes. Thank you again, everybody, for watching. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. And if you're listening to the podcast, have a great weekend. He's Corey Maslon. Thanks for listening and watching to Wake Up Warchant, fueled by DeLuna Coffee.